Hi there, I'm Phil the Practical Gardener. This particular tip is on maintaining your hedge so that it remains pristine and also creates a verdant element for your landscape. You'll see that I'm not actually filming here from my own home. This is another property, but you can see at the same time that this hedge does add a sense of definition and structure to this garden, separating the vegetable garden off from the parking area, and it also, being a box hedge, it complements the Provençal style of the garden. I will make a couple of comments about this particular hedge as we go along. For a start off, I will recommend in my other tip that I'll be producing on establishing a hedge that you plant your shrubs at least 30 centimetres or a foot apart, hopefully more if it's a more vigorously growing shrub, and that way it'll be easier to maintain, particularly if you prune it so that the lower part is left clear for a few centimetres or a couple of inches, which won't be noticeable. With this particular hedge here, you'll see that because they are planted closely and it is pruned close to the ground, weeds have been able to establish underneath and are creeping out into the garden. So that is something in my own hedge that I've been able to avoid, because I did plant the shrubs about 40 centimetres or 16 inches apart, and I also kept it slightly open at the base. I do have these wildflowers growing underneath. They're a short-term element which I remove after they've finished flowering, and they don't actually affect the hedge itself. It is important to start trimming a young hedge from the early stages. Regular pruning will encourage the hedge to branch freely and to close up, as we say. To achieve this and to look smart, most hedges need trimming about twice a year. This is best done in early spring, then again in summer, which will give the hedge time to develop fresh new foliage before winter and won't look too stark. Some hedge plants such as yew, box, such as this hedge, carokia and camellia will recover from being cut back hard. Others, including many conifers, may not grow after hard trimming, so you do need to be particularly regular with the pruning. Battery-powered trimmers are faster for trimming, however hand clippers are better for fine trimming. I actually use hedge clippers, I'm happy with them. The preferred method is as follows. Work methodically along the full length of one side before attempting the other parts. When trimming the side, it is best to work up from the bottom in broad sweeps. This achieves an even finish, avoids having trimmings from higher parts nesting in the lower parts, and is a safer practice with motorised trimmers. Don't worry about perfection. Once you've finished the side, you can check for any variations in thickness or missed twigs and tidy them up. Some varieties of hedge plants, such as camellia, are prone to opening out at the bottom over time. In this case, you can cut the bottom slightly wider and taper a little towards the top. This will encourage consistency of growth and avoid open and unthrifty areas at the bottom. Now trim the other side. Even if your hedge is close to a wall or fence, it still pays to keep it trimmed back. This will enable you to keep the area behind the hedge weed free and also to keep the wall cleaned or painted. The gap here with my hedge is only about 30 or 40 centimetres, a bit over a foot. That is enough for me to just walk down and do the trimming. I did watch a video clip just recently on the internet where the person said that you didn't need to worry about the area behind the hedge because the hedge would hide any weeds. You could just let it run its own course. I don't agree with this, because I feel that this would create a refuge for weeds which could then spread into your garden, particularly problem weeds. Now trim the top of the hedge. If the hedge is uneven on top, start from a low point as a reference point. Again, do a light trim over the top, then tidy up high spots. Keep your arms at a constant height from your body. This will ensure the trimming is consistent. If you have trouble keeping a consistent height, mark your chosen height on a length of bamboo and check occasionally against your trim sections. It isn't much use using a string line, as you would be prone to clipping it with your trimmers. Once you're finished, you can give the edges between the sides and top a slight bevel with the trimmers, which can give a softer finish. This is optional. However, this can be part of the hedge that grows most vigorously. You can see on the hedge where I'm filming that this has unbalanced the form of the hedge because the edge part has grown more vigorously than the other parts. So beveling does make a difference to the ongoing look of the hedge. The trimmings are great for mulching, including behind the hedge itself. They may also be added to the compost heap or used directly as a mulch. They have a good combination of nitrogen and carbon, the balance needed for efficient decomposition and the improved structure of the soil, so create an ideal compost. So that's it for this tip. Don't forget to like the video and also subscribe if you want to be sure to see further tips if you find them useful. If you feel that there are other people that would benefit from these, don't forget also to share it with them so they will get the benefit from these, because I am doing a lot of practical and realistic things that we could all do on a very limited scale and budget. So thanks for watching this right through to the end.